Performance goes to Sam Swift Ninja, who wins the World Championship. He is the Season 10 World Champion of ALR Season 10. Sam Swift has done it in what an action-packed Grand Prix. Sam Swift is the World Champion of Sam Swift Ninja out of the Nitro Mazelton, and Sam Swift Ninja is the World Champion for the second time in his career. The first driver to be champion on two different games in ALR is the first double world champion since Emerson back in Season 5. Sam Swift Ninja edition of Formula One 2020. Samson Ninja wins his 18th Grand Prix of his career. His second win in 3 races, Samson Ninja extends his lead in the championship.
Welcome along, everyone, and it is the third of 4 Mystery Grand Prix tonight. It is Kota in the United States, Baku in Azerbaijan, and Marina Bay in Singapore are the options tonight. Then we spin that wheel, and of course, which circuit are we going to eliminate first? And it is going to be Singapore, which is the first circuit which will not be raced on here tonight. Then, so Singapore is off the board. So it's between Azerbaijan in Baku, or of course it is United States in Kota, Circuit of the Americas. Which one's next off the board? Then 2 completely different tracks, to be honest. I'm gonna be honest, I think I'd rather have Baku personally. Oh, but it's not Baku. So Baku will not be raced on tonight. It will be Circuit of the Americas in Kota in Austin, Texas. That is the circuit we'll be racing at tonight there, which personally I must say, yeah, that's all right. I'm sure it is. Morris's 60th Grand Prix start tonight, and he has had a lot of success on this circuit. And so, what a way then for potentially Jamie Morris to really celebrate in style on this 60th Grand Prix start. Fantastic stuff indeed. But yep, it is Circuit of the America in Austin, Texas, and was the scene for round number 13 of the Drivers' Championship. That's going to be good stuff indeed. Then, of course, tomorrow night we'll be doing the same thing again. Obviously, we'll not be racing it. We may not be racing in America tomorrow night, of course. As lovely stuff indeed. Then, as as you can see, we're just in the lobby now and about to get going. Then, yes, indeed. Then, so yeah, this is round number round number 13 of the driver standings. And as you can see, that there is a pinned comment already in the chat. Thank you very much, Mr. ALR. But let's go through the driver standings. And the driver standings might be slightly different on the screen then to what I'm going to read out, because sadly, Toy Coin is retired from the season, and potentially ALR, sadly, which is a big shame indeed. But there's been a beautiful outcome of that, is that we have a return in from Geordie Boxtow. Geordie Boxtow. Sam Swift Ninja leads the way. Basically, in a nutshell, Sam Swift Ninja, if you got scores, Menace and Immortal, the championship is done and dusted, and Sam Swift will be a 3-time world champion, which will be the first 3-time world champion in history of Formula One ALR. Menace is second, and Immortal in third position. Good seasons there for Immortal and Menace, but I do feel that Sam Swift Ninja has just been a cut above this season, just certainly in terms of consistency. We have got Lucas Percy in fourth position. There's not much to write home about this season for Lucas Percy. He's now about 2 incredible Grand Prix wins in a row, which I thought might have relighted his championship quest, but sadly that's not the case. Of course, Percy is only a 1-time champion at the moment there, but which I'm quite surprised by, to be fair. Then we got Troy, of course, also a 1-time champion as well, in 5th position, and Keza in 6th, with Kaz getting his first ever Grand Prix win last time. We'll go through that in just a jiffy. Thank you for the hearts. I love it. 8th position is Brabbit then on 56 points. 51 points for Morris. As I said, he's making his 60 Grand Prix start tonight. Legends in 10th position. Great season for Legends on 45 points. 28 for Chappers. 24 for Equals. Nick Gandish on 22 with Knowles on 22 as well. Boxtow, who is now in 15th position in the championship on 18 points. I think he has scored more points in his 2 races than he scored in his several races he had earlier on the season with the Mercedes team. Mumford on 13 points. 11 for Cam, and then in the relegation zone is Coop Markey and Chaza. So those guys have got a lot of work to do to get themselves out of that relegation zone ASAP then, with only 4 rounds to go in the Constructors' Championship. Then the Constructors cannot be won tonight, I do not believe. leave? Nope, they can't. So Kick Sauber leads the way. With Ferrari in second position, because Ferrari had a really good start to the season, haven't they? With Toy Coyne and Troy doing incredible work for that Ferrari team, but sadly they have dropped away in the finals in the couple of races. Then last several couple of races, Alpine in third position on 156 points, 144 for the Mercedes team, 107 for the Haas, 96. Get there eventually, Sean. 96 points there for the RB team, 85 for Red Bull, 66 for the McLaren, 63 for Aston Martin, and only 50 points for the Williams so far, which are the constructors champions from last season. Then as just flicking across and flicking it on to flicking it onto the joint constructors then, and the joint constructors is Kick Sauber also leading the way in that area as well, on 657 and 536 for the Alpine team. Aston Martin on 465. Then we got Red Bull on 452. Only 13 points separates those two teams. McLaren on 363. 336 for the Haas team. Ferrari then 3 away from the 300 mark. That they are 27 points in front of the Williams team on 268 points. 255 points there for the RB team, and Mercedes sadly languishing at the bottom there with I've forgotten the total now because I was reading off a spreadsheet and I have to close it. What a silly fool I am. Hang on a minute. And it is also, there's 215 points for the Mercedes team as well. How do I get all this jazz off the screen then? 1 second then, as all this contraption going on. There we go. Gosh, I am very skilled. Hello everyone. So we're just waiting for the final few drivers to come in then. So the championship permutations look like this then. So if Max outscored Sam by 6 points, or Morton outscores Sam by 8 points or less, then it's all fine and done. The championship will go on. Otherwise, of course, if Sam outscores him, he'll be the first ever Triple Crown World Champion. That's a lot to take in, says Mushroom. Then I don't believe that, Mushroom. You've taken in a lot more than that. So we got Let Go Gold, then says Knowles. Then happy to be back for Lights. Saying good luck, everyone. This is Young Lights' first race of the season for Young Lights. You've also got good luck, and Sam Smith, the potential 3-time world champion. Then Troy is my champ. My champ, says that Serious Mushroom. Oh God, all 3 tracks I hate. I might be ill on Tuesday. Then you might get that sniffle, Mushroom. SA then says Knowles. Then we have also got welcome back, Lights, and says Serious Mushroom as well. Hi Kiki, Alex for the win. Says Kiki as well. Easy win for me tonight. Of course, I can't remember when Alex's last win was, to be fair. Goodness gracious me. I'll have to look that up somewhere. Incoming podium for me then. Love this track, says Indigo. Of course, as you mentioned, then we said that Indigo loves this track. Of course, making a 6-year Grand Prix start tonight. Pens for everyone, says Serious Mushroom. I don't think Serious Mushroom is actually handing out pens. I think he expects everyone to get a penalty tonight then, which is all good stuff indeed. Then, of course, we've got a Davidson tonight as well. He's not a new face, though, is he, in Grand Prix racing? Of course, Rocket Lee. However, he is new on the gold grid. Then, because it's the first time that Rocket Lee will be racing. He'll be racing the Haas team as well. So hometown field then potentially for Rocket Lee. Also, then, so last week there was a lot of hullabaloo, wasn't there, in the gold world. Of course, Kaz Van Von won his first Grand Prix after a 10-second penalty was rescinded then in the Italian Grand Prix. But there's been a statement from the gold stewards then. Of course, following the penalty situation last week, we will be bringing forward a rule change that was scheduled to be implemented in the start of season 13 now. Season 13 then. So, having said that, the footage provided shows that whilst overtakes were completed under yellow flags, although the VSC had ended, the penalties were awarded by the game as drivers crossed the start-finish line, meaning the illegal overtakes countdown instantly disappeared and the penalty immediately awarded. Both drivers in question still return to their positions. So the update for the rule, which is Article 2.11a, is of course 5 seconds and 10-second penalty removals served at any point during the race will not be removed if there is a safety car after 70% or more of the race is completed then. So of course, so that's 70% then after the race completion, of course. Then, so that is one of the run the rule amendments, and of course an additional of rule which is 2.11b and 2.11c then, which of course drivers found to be at fault of causing any time penalties other than 3-second penalties for other drivers will be held accountable and may receive a penalty or the same penalty reflected in the race results. Actions, e.g., causes a 10-second penalty for another driver can result in that penalty being removed and then applied to the offending driver at the steward's discretion and all that kind of stuff. But of course, for any glitches and other issues will be tackled separately and all that kind of jazz. So I hope you got all that. I must admit, then, to be honest, it's really good then for the stewards then to really take action after it was it was a bit of a contentious subject with Menace Max thinking he got his second Grand Prix win last week, sadly though, but then sadly then for Cards, not sadly for Cards, sadly for Menace, and he did get out of that winning position, didn't he? Rightio. Where are we? Well, we're in Kota. Only 18 people have decided to show up today, so that's good stuff. We did have a full grid about 5 minutes ago. Maybe they just don't like Kota circuit of the Americas, potentially. Because I think we had four reserves in anyway. Which of course was Kean in the Red Bull, Rocket Lee in the Haas, Young Lights in the Mercedes, first race for Young Lights, and of course Pease. And Pease has, unfortunately for Pease, I don't want to highlight this, but I am going to. Pease has finished on the podium in Spain brilliantly in that McLaren, but sadly for Pease, he has not finished any other races so far this season. So hopefully Pease can do that tonight then. But yeah, so we've got a lot of reserves in tonight, which is good stuff. Can be anyway. Intermediate tyres are on board for Boxtel. Which isn't ideal. I prefer it if drivers didn't use the intermediate tyres in dry conditions, but I haven't said that. Maybe I'm just a bit old school, potentially. Anyway, and here's our new race winner, which is, of course, Van Von, then, of course, one last amount in Italy. I must say, though, I do feel sorry for drivers that, like, inherit a Grand Prix win after the race is over, because, of course, you don't really get that euphoric feeling, do you? It's a bit like VAR in football, isn't it, really, I suppose, but there's no other way of doing it. I don't mean VAR, of course. I just about the penalty situation afterwards, but of course, as I haven't got my sound on, not good. There we go. That's better. Good stuff. You can hear the cars now instead of me just rattling on. But yes, so Kaz Van Von, then the newest Grand Prix winner to the ALR Formula 1 scene. Then Riley has joined. Then great to see Riley. Riley has raced a couple of times in gold this season. As I think a lot of drivers said, just to be fair, it was a Japanese Grand Prix earlier, so that might have been one of the reasons why that they're a bit tired and all that kind of stuff. I must admit, I am absolutely shattered then. But anyway, going back to Van Von then, as I'm just taking a look then. So Van Von in his 34th Grand Prix start got that Grand Prix win, and that's his second podium of his career as well for Van Von. He has been unlucky, Van Von, has Cam as well. Two drivers who have probably stolen the unlucky crown from chappers from last season, potentially. No game sound, Shunnies. I'm hoping that that's all been rectified now, because I forgot to turn it on just a few moments ago, so hopefully that's all good. Can you repeat that, Sean? I missed that. What a smile he is. Across the line, then he comes at Van Von now, but I think it's Kian who's the first driver around there. Kian was involved in the Silver Championship fight, wasn't he? But sadly, then there was technical issues and some lagging and all kinds of jazz there, which left him on the side for silver last week. Then, and of course, he's driving in gold tonight. Then, and hopefully the lagging has disappeared. Then, and Kian can get back inside. But I do feel that the race that he missed last week, I think, has all but finished his hopes of being challenging for the crown for silver, and he would have been the first driver in ALR history to win bronze and silver in 2 successive seasons. I hazard, I think. Then, as we got shame I can't cost Mushroom another 3-second penalty this week. Damn you, Ashton. As yes, indeed, Serious Mushroom was not too impressed with Ashton, but on Tuesday night, as Serious Mushroom said that Ashton turned into him, or was it that Serious Mushroom turned into Ashton? Then, of course, that remains to be seen and all that kind of stuff. I must admit, luckily I didn't see it because I was too far back. Great drive from Ashton, by the way. Was that Ashton's best drive in his ALR, short ALR career so far? I would say yes, and I'm not sure if Ashton would agree on that, to be honest, but I think that he drove superbly well, and of course, I do feel that if Ashton went onto the intermediate tires instead of the wet tires in as Van Vollen's gone fast, then was the RB driver of Morris is out of qualifying, sadly. If Ashton went onto the intermediate tyres, I reckon Ashton would have got some points, you know, in that race. It was I got to say the race on the bronze race was fantastic, absolutely brilliant stuff indeed. I love the change of weathers. It started raining on the formation lap, which is superb stuff indeed. Of course, I was grinning from ear to ear. Pieces of so time runner so far. Kez has just gone into first fastest whisker in front of his teammate, of course, who is a reserve driver tonight then for Keza, so he's in the top 3 at this moment in time then. I can't believe you got it for Japan. Rubbish. It wasn't the best race in the world, was it? However, the one thing I did like about Japan was the fact is that it sounded like the drivers was actually, as Young Lights has gone faster by quite a margin there, 4/10 of a second. That's pretty impressive there from Young Lights. Young Lights has had pole positions in the past. He's had 2 pole positions in his 52 career Grand Prix career so far. The Grand Prix win as well from Lights when I think it was season 5 actually when he beat. Did he beat Eat the Cookie? Or was that season 4 when he beat you the cookie? I can't remember now. Yeah, Young Lights won in, I'm sure it was Zambor, you know, but then again, my memory is not as it used to be because I'm an old man these days. Riley has jumped into the Ferrari, that is, just watching that Legends go down the back straight. Percy's back in there now, looking a bit floaty there. Here comes also one of 2 drivers that is going to try and stop Sam Swift from being crowned a 3-time world champion. And out the final turn there for Amorso. Amorso knows about being champion, as of course he was the first ever 100%er champion way back when. Goodness me, time flies when we're having fun, doesn't it? Legend in the final sector now then. It took me all my nuts to pass him, says Serious Russian. Goodness gracious me. Even to you, Camera Racer, good luck and thank you very much for the $10 donation. Absolutely fantastic indeed there for Camero. Brilliant stuff indeed there. We appreciate all your donations and stuff like that. As I don't think my YouTube app is updating annoyingly, but never mind. Looks like I'm going to have to keep closing it and opening it. Yeah, Japan wasn't the best, was it? But I must say, but of course, credit where credit's due. Wasn't Max Verstappen fantastic? I thought he's in like the 3rd or 4th best car in F1 at the moment. Because I think the McLaren's the fastest, and I think Mercedes is probably the 2nd fastest. And then I'm not sure if Red Bull or Ferrari, to be honest. I think it might be Ferrari and Red Bull, maybe. Percy's gone faster by 2/10 of a second from a Young Lights man there for Lucas Percy in car 21. Champions has just got into 5th fastest as well. But yeah, hats off to I was going to call him Menace Max then. Hats off to Max Verstappen. What a drive then. Of course, he probably won that Grand Prix getting pole position yesterday in qualifying, but even so, that's fantastic. I must say, not a lot happened in the race. To be fair, did it in Japan? Then, of course, I was quite excited as when I turned it on. Then it looked quite wet, didn't it? But and then of course, there was no rain in the race at all, even though there was apparently meant to be rain about a couple of laps into it, wasn't it, or something like that? I don't know. I was very tired-eyed for most of that, for most like Grand Prix, as Equals goes 8th fastest now. Then fantastic. Here's Sam Swift Ninja. Then of course, like in Italy last week, there's going to be a lot more. Well, there's always focus on the double world champion, isn't it? Of course, I think statistically, it's now becoming the most successful driver in ALR history. He's got 21 wins, and I'm sure that's only 1 or 2 wins now behind Emerson. Hang on a minute, let me check actually, because I've got my old book up here. Oh no, he's not. Sorry, that's I was thinking of pole positions there. So at the moment, Sam Swift Ninja's about 12 wins away from Emerson at the moment. So he may become three-time champion, but he is still about 12 wins away from Emerson at the moment there. But of course, there's out the final turn then, and Sam Swift Ninja goes 2nd fastest at the moment there. A whisker behind Lucas Percy, who's been one of his main championship rivals then. For for his career so far as Rocket Lee. Then, and we just heard a shout out there from Stephen Anthony, who we haven't seen for a while, but great to have you in the comment section. Good stuff indeed. There, Rocket Lee currently in 15th, then, and of course, and the other shout out was of course to Kia. Sorry, I yawned then. Of course, this is enthralling. This is very enthralling. Don't get me wrong, but I must admit I am very tired. I've been snoozing on and off all day, and horrifyingly enough, actually, I missed a lot of the football. But then I woke up to see the Liverpool lost 3-2 to Fulham, so that was disappointing. Coop's out of qualifying as well. 8 minutes ago in this qualifying session. Menace Max is starting his lap as well, as is Rocket Lee. But Rocket Lee just about keeping it on the circuit. Oh, goodness gracious me, and used all the track and then some. Here's Menace, the other driver apart from Mortal, to try and stop Sam Swift Ninja from being crowned a 3-time champion here tonight. Then, to be honest, I don't want to be, I don't want to play. I don't want to be, of course, biased or anything, but I wish that Sam Swift won it last week, or maybe next week as well, because I would be a lot more awake, I think, than it's been a longer day for SF1 fans, hasn't it, as Menace coming down the back straight as well. Kian is silver then, he is now, isn't he, then Brabbit is joined as well, so Brabbit then was a little late then, but Brabbit is in, and even now, I think someone has taken his car, hasn't he? No, he hasn't. I apologise. I thought that Riley was taking his car, but no, Riley's in the Ferrari. It's just watching Bears Echo into Sector 3. Yes, and so Brabbit then, of course, was arriving late. Then he has 7 minutes to get in his car and get all strapped in and ready to go, which, of course, getting strapped in then is not the most easiest of things in the world, as sadly Isaac Hajar found out in qualifying, and got to say, as gentlemen, then I must say, I think we all felt Isaac Hajar's pain in qualifying, as it sounded like his lap belt then was put a bit of a squeeze on the old crown jewels, wasn't it? As Knowlesy then just down the back straight as well. Of course, Knowlesy, who we need to find out when he last won a race, then, but I'm sure it's probably about season 3. You know, maybe season 3, I think, or maybe even season 2 actually potentially for Knowlesy. Don't want to throw shade on the young man though. Lando should have net PH3 pass then. It's difficult, isn't it? When you're both fighting for the championship, and potentially you're both gonna be like going head to head. As Young Lights goes second fastest, great times so far from Young Lights. When you're both fighting for the championship, obviously goes into 12 fastest there, and 3 tenths of a second away from his teammate, as the two Williams cars have sandwiched the Alpine machine of Equals out there at the moment. Riley has gone into 15 fast, and Rocket Lee is in 16th with own P's and 17th. Whoa, and that's a car off the circuit there, and that is Percy, who's crashed and out of qualifying. And that is going to be a disappointing Lucas Percy. Look at the sparks coming off the front of the car. But that is a humongous crash there for Lucas Percy. And I must say that when the cars are have not got much fuel in, they do let go in a big way still, but it's very unusual to see a crash like that in qualifying. It's Immortal's gone faster of the time runners so far. Of course, Immortal aiming for his 19th pole position of his career, and he's only 3 away from the, I think it's the all-time record of gold then, which is 22 pole positions set by Emerson a few seasons ago. So Immortal can break that record tonight then. Can't break that record like that. Not when I was racing back in the day, aka last season, says Stephen. I hope you're well, Stephen. I'm sure, wasn't, of course, wasn't you expecting a baby, Stephen? Of course, not you personally, but, well, of course, but, and having said that, if you've watched the film with Arnold Schwarzenegger in it, where he, where I'm sure he was pregnant, wasn't he, with Danny DeVito or something like that, which is an odd film. I'm not sure if anyone probably remembers that film. It was a very odd film. But anyway, yes, of course, I hope you and your family are doing very well indeed, Nancy. It's great to see you in the comment section. Brian was hibernating. That'll buff out Percy, says Serious Marshall there. Yeah, just a bit of spit and polish, and I think that should be all fine then. Quals has gone a 10th of a second up in the first sector time. Kian has invalidated, but Kian once again in the 10th position. Champions looking strong as well in 8th at the moment. Great stuff indeed. I'm just going to stick with Quals at the moment. 4 minutes ago in this qualifying session then, as we are now going down the back straight as well. It's very dull here in Circuit in America in Texas. We did have one affected wet race, didn't we, in 2015, where Hamilton was crowned a 3-time world champion there. And ironically then, as we've mentioned already then, Sam, we could see Sam Swift Ninja also taking the championship for the 3rd time this season as well, which would be fantastic stuff. But of course, we've only got 4 more rounds to go on ALR on a full F1 2024 before ALR does venture into F1 25. Looking forward to F1 25, I must say, but I'm also trying to keep my expectations tempered because I have been disappointed in the last 4 games now. Out of the final turn there for Equals, across the line. Equals goes 8 fastest. Great time there for Equals. A whisker behind Boxstar, about 100th of a second behind Boxstar. Incredible stuff indeed. He couldn't have got close there if he tried. Cam in 10th finish there. I think the Cam in the last 2 races, Zandvoort especially, and Belgium probably could have and should have scored a lot more points than he has. It's currently in the moment, and he is sitting just outside the relegation zone, of course. Before, if you're in the bottom 3 of any championship, you will be relegated to the league below then. So, but that's 18th, 19th, and 20th there, as Brabant has got well in the way of that Mercedes there. That might be, and I think Lights is just on an outlap there, so that was lucky for that would have been a bit disappointing there for Brabant. But Brabant looks like he was on a quick lap there, but has had to abandon his time there. Of course, Brabant hasn't got his traditional race helmet on yet because I think he has decided to have a tribute to Lando Norris, hasn't he? I don't understand how the tyre came off from that hit then. Lost my wing, then about 2 seconds later the tyre popped up. The lobby might have messed up with a late joiner, it says Serious Masher then, of course. So we don't really like late joiners, do we, in ALR? Of course, we do run a tight ship. Well, most of the time anyway. Cam is retired from the session. There were 2 years to go in this qualifying session. It's 2 qualifying sessions. Flying by, isn't there? Not much to write home about at the moment, though, isn't there? But of course, this is where it's going to get fast and furious. And as we got Rocket Lee then, so we're on board with Rocket Lee. Love the helmet design as well, of course. Rocket Lee, to be honest, I do think that Rocket Lee is one of the quickest qualifiers in all of ALR, gold, silver, or bronze. And Rocket Lee, we've got some really good qualifiers in ALR, I must admit that. Of course, come straight off the bat, then I already think about a Malta, already think about Rocket Lee as we're on board with him now. Then, of course, we got so many really good qualifiers. Young Lights used to be quite a quick peddler back in the day, as did Chazza as well in the Mercedes. I don't think Chazza's is actually in the lobby, is he? No, it's not. It's actually Lights then. But then, of course, you've got Kiki as well. You've got Jinner, who is absolutely incredible in qualifying, isn't he, Jinner? It's fantastic stuff indeed there. As it just coming down the back straight down there. Wake up, Rabbit! Scraps! Dodgy bag! Doggy bag! Serious Masher. What did I say? I don't know. What did I say? I hope I didn't say anything. Well, I probably did, to be fair. Never mind. Let's proceed anyway. To be fair to me, I am very, very sleep deprived. And luckily for all us F1 fans, it's Bahrain and Saudi Arabia. Well, it depends on your type and your point of view. But I must admit, I would. Would I rather wake up early? Would I wake up early to watch Saudi Arabia? I don't think I. Well, I probably would, to be fair. But of course, there's that Williams car well for circuit the final quarter. That lap may not count, man. Rocket Lee does improve by half a second and stays 16 fastest for Rocket Lee. Piece has started his lap now. Brabant, who is on a lap then for the McLaren Mercedes team. Then out to the final turn, then coming up to the line, and the Brabant goes 13 fastest, and that's his one and only time run. Then he does have time as. What's happened? Menace is stuck at the top of the hill. What's happened to Menace there? And he's going to crawl back down there, but the checker flag has fallen. Menace ain't going to be able to set a time, and unfortunately, as Kez has retired from the session as well. Is Keza gone off? I think Kez has gone off. gone off maybe in a big way there. He's off at the exit of the second to last corner. I'm just watching the Ferrari. I was watching the wrong Ferrari, you know. I was trying to watch Boxtel. Boxtel improves, but I think he invalidated his time there, and that's unfortunate for Boxtel. What about Sam Swift Ninja? He's found a 10th for a second. That will get him up to third, but that's actually pole position there. What a final sector there from Sam Swift Ninja. 8 pole positions of his career so far. Is the double world champion. That could be the last time I'm saying that, as he could be a triple world champion by the end of tonight. Pole position so far. Immortal has now got to respond to that. What has he got? And Immortal's back on pole position, and for the United States Grand Prix. And Immortal there going for his 19th pole position of his career. Lights was looking strong, but unfortunately for Lights, he's had an issue. What about Van Von, the newest member to the Winners Club, and now he is third then, and he's really elevated his performance. Fantastic. Menace then, who we've seen was stuck at the top of the hill then, unfortunately. And unfortunately for Menace, I think that is his session curtailed. Chappers is invalidated. Knowles has made his way up to 13th position then. Brabbit is coming back into the garage then. Legend goes 14th fastest then. What about Riley across the line? Riley stays, is actually up to 16th, I think, and Rocket Lee is invalidated this time, so it's a mortal pole position. Number 19 of his career in a Grand Prix racing. That is fantastic stuff there for Lights. I've got Lights on the brain for Immortal, and that is his 8th pole position of the season as well. That's fantastic stuff there for Immortal. And of course, Immortal has already had 3 pole positions in a row this season. I wonder if he can end it off strongly then. Brilliant stuff then for Immortal. Fantastic stuff indeed. Then he'll be over the moon, I'm sure of that. But of course, he does want that. He does want that Grand Prix win as well this season. He has one Grand Prix win, I think, this season. He does indeed. Then back at the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix. Of course, we were talking about that just a minute ago. He'll love to have a second Grand Prix win here tonight. But of course, Saudi Arabia and Circuit of America, 2 completely different kettles of fish, then, isn't it? Great time to mess with Sean. He's tired, says Serious Russia. Mortal, says Equels. Also, annoyingly as well, I apologise if I don't read out your comments very well. My comments are not updated on YouTube automatically, so I have to keep closing and reopening the chat. By 6400 a second, then Immortal and Sam Swift Ninja. You know what? I reckon that I need to wind my neck in, I think, because I think that Sam Swift Ninja probably doesn't have many pole positions because he's always racing against the likes of Immortal, the likes of Menace Max, and those 2 drivers are absolutely supreme in qualifying, as is Lucas Percy as well. Goodness gracious me, then. So maybe I need to wind my neck in about the lack of pole positions that the double world champion has got. And remember, it's about the points at the end of the day. You don't get world championships for being a good qualifier. You get world championships for being a good racing driver. Sorry, I was wetting my whistle. Yes, so here we go then for the start of the United States Grand Prix. Look how beautiful it is out there. Absolutely fantastic stuff indeed. And see the Paddock Club there, of course, full of all the VIPs. And I'm sure Farp is up there at the moment with Smithfield Mighty having a glass of champagne as they're waiting for what awaits for their destiny tomorrow with the Wheel of Fortune. Which, of course, we will redo the wheel tomorrow and, of course, on Tuesday as well, because that's the beauty about the mystery events. I don't think the mystery events will be back next season in terms of gold, silver, and bronze. However, but of course, I think that we'll be probably having a 20-round season next season. But of course, keep an eye on the announcements, all you ALR drivers, and of course, all you non-ALR drivers, and all you ALR fans in the social medias and all that kind of stuff. And all that kind of stuff, and good stuff indeed. That lovely stuff indeed. It is. Apparently tomorrow it is 15 degrees as well. Chappers has reported that Kian is having issues with his connection, which ain't ideal, but we'll see what goes on. Look at that! There we got all tyres then being represented on the grid. Fantastic stuff indeed. That we love a bit of diversity. A multiple pole position, number 19 of his career, number 8 of the season then for Walter. He is superb. Pease has not left the has not left the grid then, and sadly for PZ, they could potentially, hopefully at least the proper grid then, otherwise that would be his 5th retirement in 6 appearances then. It's famine or feast then for PZ, but he's had a lot more famine than feast, and sadly as PZ due to the fact of 5 retirements in 6 races, and then he did get that podium there. Immortal on pole position for the 19th time of his career, Sam Swift Ninja, as if he finishes... No, I was going to say if he finishes there, of course, I think Immortal will still keep the championship going. Kaz in third position, great drive from Kaz, and hoping to get his 2nd Grand Prix win in a row. I remember Lewis Hamilton got his 2nd Grand Prix win on the American soil as well. But Kaz on the medium tyres said, lights is on the hard tyres. Said he may struggle on the opening lap then, but of course, but then Percy who's going to be taken off then and really putting the power down then. I think for that Haas car. He's in 5th position. Menace in 6th on the hard tyres. Kean is 7th. 8th position is Boxtel, who has lost his position in the queue. Luckily, he has a drop to the back of the field. 9th is Equals on the medium tyres. Chappers is 10th then. 11th position is Cam then on the hard tyres. Can Cam get a good result here tonight? 12th is Keza with Knowlesy on the hard tyres in 13th position. Then Legends is 14th. Brabbit 15th. Legends on hard tyres. Brabbit on the medium tyres. Riley on the hard tyres. Medium tyres for Rocket League. Goodness gracious me, guys. It's a mixture strategy and I love it. 17th position is Rocket League. Pease is Avinacious getting off the grid on the Aston Martin and hopefully can do it on the real grid. 19th for Coop as in Soup then, and of course Morris in 20th position and hoping for a podium, he said then, but he's got a lot of work to do from 20th on the grid. The last rows are on the hard compound tyres. Right, as we're all lined up on the grid now, preparing ourselves for the start of the Circuit of the Americas. As you can see, a lot of wheel spin down the course for the races over the course of this circuit's very short history. Of course, opened in 2012, or the first race was in 2012. We're waiting for those lights. Well, there they are. 4, 4, 5. It's going the Circle of the Americas as there's a run down into turn 1. And then when I look at that, there's Sam Swift Ninja that is such an inviting run into turn 1, but Immortal breaks later, but he starts to break then, and he loses that to lead then, but he's on the inside as the 2 championship rivals then who are trying to go wheel to wheel. Because they all got away safe and sound, they have indeed then. It's a good start from all drivers, and that's fantastic. As they all go through the slalom section there, as Sam Swift Ninja wants to put this beyond doubt then. Percy's up 2 positions already using those soft tyres. Pease has got up 3 positions then. Maybe the formation lap actually helped Pease. Incredible stuff indeed there. As Percy then, as Boxtel's had a horror show for starting his first drive as a full-time driver for the Ferrari team then. Just like the announcer was and saying that he's going from Mercedes to Ferrari, just following the footsteps of Hamilton. Sadly, Boxtel doesn't want to perform like Hamilton, but then he is not at the best of starts to his Ferrari career. And it looks like that Boxtel's not at the best start to his Ferrari career either. However, this is only lap 1. As you can see, a lot of jostling for positions. That was for Riley diving up the inside, and I missed that completely as he's having a fight there. Morris, there's damage to someone. There's end plate damage to one of the cars. So I didn't see who it was, and then all the 2 RBs almost coming to blows, and they're going to sandwich Alexander Knowlesy. No, he isn't. He's okay. As Knowlesy keeps up 14th position at the moment. Pease is up 4 positions. He's flying through this field so far. As is Morris is up 4 positions for the current to complete lap 1 then. As well as was that contact in the background with, I think that was Rocket Lee. Sam Swift Ninja leads then, setting obviously up the fastest lap. Then we've got Immortal, followed by Percy, Kaz, Lights, and then we've got Kean as well on board with Pease. He's having a look then on the inside of Boxtel. The hard tyres has been a bit of a brutal introduction to the Grand Prix so far, and there is Boxtel with damage then getting forced out wide, and he has lost the end plate of the Ferrari. Oh dear, that is not good because he's on the hard tyres as well. But he's going to be understeer city, isn't he? Sadly for Boxtel down into 70th position then. That is not good then. So Boxtel damage then onto that Ferrari, sadly. Oh dear, that's not ideal at all, is it? Soft's not good, says Serious Russia. Rot at the back, says Serious Russia. Well, sadly, I think that to be fair to To be fair to Boxstar, he probably wished he had those soft tyres on it, but he could have come to the pits and thrown the hard tyres. Wherever they would have got to the end of the race from here is an unknown quantity, as Lights is fighting with Kian here. Kian and Lights said, goodness gracious me, then the two, of course, two reserves here tonight, and fighting for position, and on the inside, there goes Kian, takes the 5th position, passes Lights, and Lights is down in number 2 positions, and goodness gracious me, Boxstar now down 10 positions, up 6 is Morris, up 5 is Peace. Great start for both those drivers so far. Menace is down 4 and is in 10th position. As it stands, Menace will be eliminated from the Drivers' Championship battle here tonight then. With just 4 rounds to go then. Legend's got the first penalty of the night then. Lap 2 has been completed now, 7/10 of a second. DRS is now in effect then. And Immortal will love that second Grand Prix win here tonight, won't he? Percy in third position on the soft tyres. And as Terrace Russian mentioned, soft's not good then. Percy then, who is rolling the dice right from the get-go here then. But Van Vonden hope for his third podium here tonight then, after that Grand Prix win last week in Italy. I love this camera shot here, the Kelly Cam then. And by the way, actually, Riot, not Rot. Apologies. I am tired now. Because, by the way, actually, I heard did you hear the incredible fact that was that Crofty mentioned in the F1 commentary this morning? Apparently, that's the first time since '95 that there was a helicopter camera in Suzuka, and I'd love to know why. Well, since '95, I'd love to know why, because firstly, it was cool to see, and of course, I'm surprised how close Suzuka was to the actual sea, to be fair. As now through goes Lights and passes Kian, or repasses Kian, I should say, and up into 9th position. And what about Menace? He is now into 9th position, trying to get himself back in this Grand Prix. Keza trying to lightly force him off the circuit. He's not doing so well. Then Menace said, hopefully we got lovely on-board shots here, but however, we do want an off-board, to be honest. Now we've got one, and look at that, then it's Cam who's got past Menace as well, and up into 10th position. Cam is in the points there, and that is exactly what Kick Sauber and Cam wants to do. Cam wants to avoid relegation, whilst Kick Sauber would like to inch closer to the Constructors' Championship, which cannot be won here today. Sam Swift Ninja's still got a half a second lead at the moment then over Immortal. Percy is just hanging on as Boxtown is out of the Grand Prix, sadly. Cam, and now sadly Cam's lost 2 positions there. Brabbit is also cut across the nose cone of the Kick Sauber as well. Menace back in the 10th position there, but of course they are now, well, they aren't actually. Kez has lost a lot of time somewhere. Kez is struggling out there. He was all over the gearbox of Champions, but now all of a sudden he's behind, and here is Champions who's all over the gearbox of Equals, is keeping an eye on Kian and also Peace. Oh no, and Peace is off the circuit. Well, he's recovering now, but jumped down the order. Morrison who's lost out to Knowlesy. Knowlesy, though, that may have been a shrewd manoeuvre there from Morris, who is an expert in Kota, as Percy's lost out now to Kaz, and Kaz is back onto the podium. Goodness me, and now we've got Legends getting past Rocket Lee with no DRS there. Rocket Lee could not defend himself. Cooper's lost out to Riley as well. Sam Swift Ninja leads then, so the Ferrari Boxhouse out of the race then, and that is beautiful news that if you're a Kick Sauber fan there, because now the other Ferrari of Riley is not eligible to score points for the Ferrari team because of course he's a reserve driver. On board with Champions, he's having a really good start to this Grand Prix so far. Fantastic stuff indeed. And into 8th position, looking very strong indeed, that Champions. Champions has been the world in us, if I'm not very much mistaken, in the last couple of races, hasn't he, for Champions? Well, I say that, he did get a 5th position, actually, in the Dutch Grand Prix. So maybe I'm going to rescind my statement there. P's on the pits there, and P's going in the pits to change that nose cone, I believe, in the Aston Martin. Now he's in now. Then yes, damage to the Aston Martin, going onto the hard tyres. That's also a 5-second loss as well. Back on board now. It's Immortal and Sam Swift Ninja are accelerating away. Whoa! Is Van Von then getting very squirty on the old posterior there, as the back end is not compliant at all in that Aston Martin there for Van Von. As I feel that is going to really entice now. Oh no, we got the Haas off the circuit there at the home Grand Prix of Rocket League. Not Rocket League's home Grand Prix, but the Haas car's home Grand Prix down in 18th position there. So a bit of a spin there. Here comes Percy. He's trying. Is he going to have a lunch there? Not quite there. He is 3/10 to second down. Then we got Lights. What is going on here? And look at this. It's almost free abreast of that Rocket. That's Red Bull almost into the back of the McLaren. But Menace there has lost out to 2 positions there. Has he? Kez trying to fight here. Oh, I think there's issues there with Kez's car. The back end is not compliant. And now we got Cam, who's also forced his nose in there as well. And then here comes Cam then. Of course, remember, Cam and Menace are both on the hard compound tyres, of course. They are not the preferred race tyre at the moment, and I am sure of it. But I cannot be. Oh, it's Brabant there. Not you're using the NASCAR line there, or the IndyCar line then, rather than the actual F1 line. Across the line they come once again then, as Keza is struggling for pace, and isn't he? I'm wondering if he is just overheating those tyres there. Rocket League has got a 3-second penalty right to the back of the field for Rocket League, unfortunately. And who's that? And was that a contact there? I'm not sure if Keza was spinning already, but Keza now down into 18th position there. Oh dear. Oh dear, and luckily the stream's about 3 seconds beyond, and Softs will be mounted now then. Yeah, I think so. Keza was spinning. Then before contact was made. Then as I was looking at something else, shame on behaviour by me. But goodness me, we've got a bit of a conga line now behind cars, haven't we? As the gap at the front, the gap between the top two is now extended to almost 3 seconds there. So Sam Smith leads the way. Morto is in second, and then we've got a great battle between Van Von. We got between Van Von, Percy, Lights, Kian, Ekwelsen, and as we have also got Chappers, who's just a second back actually. Chappers has lost time somewhere. Do not count out Morrison up the inside, passes Menace, and Morrison once again showing he's absolutely supreme in Kota, isn't he, Morrison? And flying through the field like a hot knife through butter, and has got past Menace, and Menace is having a horror show start to this Grand Prix. Not ideal at all. Oh my goodness me, and Lights on the outside, contact, and there's damage to one car now. I think it's the Mercedes, and there's more contact there. My word then, it's getting very frightful out there between those two drivers then, as Percy trying to go up the inside there, but no, and also Percy's made contact with Keane as well almost, as goodness me, there's a lot of bumping and grinding and weaving as we go into turn 1 now, as Lights then has got damage then, and now the Red Bull up the inside. Percy's lost out 2 positions there to turn 1, no he hasn't, he's back in past Equans, driving a superb Grand Prix so far. But Lights having damage there. That is not ideal, is it, there for Young Lights? He's driving a superb race today, isn't he? Goodness gracious me. A great drive on his first race here at Season 12 there for Young Lights. Incredible stuff indeed there. Of course, first race there, and goodness me, he's in the thick of the action now, right up in the top 4. Kaz is going to be happy because he's now being able to stretch his advantage there, whilst all these drivers are now stuck behind the Lights head, who is limping wounded at the moment, isn't it? And look at this, and here comes Kian, and Kian there is going to go for it. Kian, and it's so quick, isn't it? I'd love to see him to continue challenging in silver, and now he is in full position in the gold race here. What an incredible performance here so far for Kian, fantastic. And now sadly Lights is I thought Lights had both end plates damaged there, but he just has one. Whoops, I haven't got my tower on. Hasn't got the one of the end plates working. Well, them working, because it's gone, isn't it? My goodness gracious me. And Brabant has now got within a second of this battle then, as look at those soft tyres, they are struggling. I reckon that Percy's going to pit this out then. Where are the Haas mechanics out in the pits? No, they're not. Yes, they are. As into the pits now comes Lucas Percy, so he's had enough, and he's into the pits then, as Immortal is struggling to keep up with Sam Swift Ninja. Sam Swift Ninja aiming for his 6th Grand Prix win of the season here tonight then, of course in only 13 starts. That's incredible. So Kaz is hoping to now use that plus one. And that's a Haas off the circuit. As recovery now, but that's end plate damage for Rocket League. Rocket League will also get a penalty there, which I think he'll be fuming about, to be honest, because I'm not really sure that deserved a penalty. What happened? Stupid Parrot kicked off. This says a serious question. Well, it got very frightening between Kian, Lights and Equaz and Brabant, and of course, sadly, that Lights and Percy did kick off as well as your Parrot there, Serious Mushroom, and unfortunately, damage has happened to the Mercedes car of Lights. There is the damage there on your screen then, as Percy is now recovering, is now onto the hard tyres, and Cam is up into 8th position, Lights is up into 4th, and is through then, and so Lights there, even with damage there, is still flying, isn't he? And look at that, Morris is now up into 9th position there, of course, from the back of the field, Morris is now up into 9th position there for the RB, as Chappers is in 10th there, as Percy, oh, he's off the circuit, Perseus, what's happened there? And Percy's crashed halfway down the back straight. It's a VSC at the moment. Sure, they're going to have to take the opportunity to go to the pits. Well, remember that Sutil was it Sutil that crashed halfway down the straight, didn't they? And was it Sutil and Gutierrez? No, was it 2012 or 2013, wasn't it? But that is not ideal. All of them are into the pits there, as Chappers coming in the pits. Was now look at this. So all the hard runner of Morris is staying out here, as it's a safety car. So it's transitioned into a full safety car, and now Morris is stayed out. Knowles is stayed out. So has Legends. South Swift Ninja is on the new hard tires in 4th position. And Mortal's in 5th, with Kaz in 6th position, and Kian 7th, Brabant 8th, Equaz 9th. I think the Lights is Lights that is coming to the pits and onto the medium tyres. So the medium tyres going to get to the end from there. Right, I've just been swiped on the straight then. And who was Percy racing then with? I'm not sure, to be honest. We'll have to have a look at that. But Percy then is going to be absolutely furious. I'm sure he's going to be furious after the contact he made with Lights then, or the other way around potentially there. But that is not ideal then. Percy out of the race then. Had to change the wing then, says Young Lights. So that's why Young Lights is down to 12th position. He's still on pace. They've had that wing change though. I'm wondering if potentially he could have gone. I'm wondering if Lights could have carried on potentially, but I think it would have caused a lot of understeer, which would have been more pressure on those tyres. Rocket Lee has gone for intermediate tyres there, as maybe there might be a downpour coming this way though. Got pushed wide up, battling with Percy. We seen that Lights out, but Percy there, I think, has got bigger problems at the moment. There, Lights back with baptism. Then says, "Seriously, goodness me, incredible stuff at the end." So drivers that have not stopped as the top 3 of Morris, Knowlesy, and Legends. And then we've got Cam. So Cam is swapped to the medium tyres. Also swapped to the medium tyres is Lights, Riley, and Coop and Menace. And so they're all onto the medium tyres. The safety car came out at the worst time for those drivers that started on the hard tyres. So the likes of Morris, Knowlesy, and Legends there, I think, are going to be feeling a bit aggrieved by this, I feel, because this is going to be, they need another safety car, I think, to get themselves back into this one. We don't have many safety cars in ALR, do we? Well, it depends on the league, really, because Bronze doesn't have many safety cars, which is quite annoying, as I'd love to have a safety car once in a while in Bronze End, because that will help me catch up into the pits. Now comes Knowlesy, so Knowlesy didn't want to come in the pits there, and as Coop has got a 10-second penalty there, but he's in the pit, so is that a bona fide 10-second penalty? Well, that remains to be seen then, but he comes into the pits now then for the McLaren team. This is painful, isn't it, for Cooper, especially if that penalty was given to him because he was coming in the pits. Well, I'm just surmising, though. Top 3 in trouble, says Sarah's Mushroom. Knowles coming out the pits now. Well, it's the top 2 now, I think, that's in trouble, as Knowles is out of the pits, and Rocket League out of the Grand Prix. Both Haas ended their home Grand Prix out of the race before half distance, and not good at all. Coop has in soup on the hard tyres now, then, as I'm wondering if Coop did he come in the pits? I think he did, didn't he? I wonder if he selected the wrong. I wonder if McLaren gave him the wrong tyres potentially. Brabant, his teammates, up in the same position at the moment. Rocket enters brain, says Serious Mushroom. To be fair, I think it happened to Liam as well in Bronze there, where it happened to Liam in Bronze actually, where he was meant to select intermediate tyres, but instead put hard tyres on it, which helped me a great deal, I must say, but sadly didn't help Liam at all, did it really? So just we on straight down. There's a Percy. It was Keza. He swiped left when we were side by side, and it snapped my wheel. slapped my wheel left and I smashed into the wall, says Percy. Oh, goodness me. Very uncharacteristic for Kez to do something like that. I'm wondering if something... Of course, you can't defend that if safety car's in this lap. You cannot defend that, of course, if it was on purpose. But very uncharacteristic there for Keza. So it'd be interesting to see if Keza and the Red Bull had some issues then potentially. But that'll have to be investigated after the race. But from Percy's point of view, disappointed really, isn't it, for Percy? Because he would have been going for a very powerful undercut at this stage of the race, wouldn't he? Of course, the safety car is out because of Percy. As we got a 1-2 for the RB team, which would be fantastic from my point of view, because of course that'll be good for us in the joint constructors. However, both the RBs are the only two that have not pitted then. So they will have to find, or they will either have to have another safety car, but even so, it's still going to be painful. Rocket League out of the race left for session. We're down to 17 runners and riders on lap 10 then. We're green for go then. And here we go, once again, there's a Morris there. Did he get a bit of a spin going on there, or was he just trying to break the slipstream? But he went extreme left there. But here comes Sam Swift Ninja. He's going for it on the outside then, and he's going for it. Look at that, there's Kaz Van Von also fighting with the LP, and Van Von has gone up and under. Great manoeuvre. Same for Sam Swift Ninjas, one of them in second position, and Van Von is caught at Immortal. Then was he sleeping then? Because look at how much time they've lost to the top three. But Van Von now in his second position, and goodness gracious me. Swipe left, so you didn't get a date then. I thought it was swipe right. Obviously, I wouldn't know because I'm not on Tinder, but I am on Grindr. Coming down into... To be honest, it's the same thing, isn't it? I don't know. Oh, look at this. Just new tyres and more purchase, more traction. And Sam Swift Ninja is going for the lead here in the Circuit of the Americas. And the quicker he gets past Morris, the quicker he'll be able to now gap the drivers behind him. He's going for it. He's technically fast. And he does. He swoops on the outside, takes the lead on lap 11 then. And now Sam Swift Ninja is on course to be crowned a triple world champion. Wow, incredible stuff indeed. That this could be history in the making here tonight. It could be history in the making tonight then. George Carter, I'm watching Kez's screen and he didn't swipe left then. The data's still on, so it's much there. Oh goodness me then. So I'm wondering if there is we know about some issues with connection and stuff like that. So I'm wondering if Percy's in something different on his screen compared to Kez's screen. Then it would have been very uncharacteristic for Kez to do something like that. Then I must say. So I do feel that there's something wrong with the must have been something wrong with maybe a desync or something. I do not know, but that will be investigated after the race. As the car is in the wall, Kez is down in 15th position, and Menace is now in 13th at the moment. Then on board with Quells, I say, in 10th position. Whether the medium tires go to the end or not, I am not convinced myself then, but when am I convinced? I'm only convinced when there's food in my belly. Pease has got a 3-second penalty. Van Von driving superbly well. That win last time out in Italy has really changed the man as he came up the inside, takes 7th position. And now then they will have DRS, and look at the slipstream going on here as Ninja's only 2 seconds in front of the two RPs, and Morris is going to be absolutely taken advantage of down the back straight. And now Alpine, oh my word, how did they stop the car? How did that Alpine of Immortal stop the car beyond me? But Kaz is now into second position. What a manoeuvre! And he is now then, can he now pull away then from the drivers on the old hard tyres? And who's out then? Look left, that is Morrison trying to get past Kean then. But Kean is having none of it there, and Kean now up the inside. Is Cam going to go through? Yes, he is going through. Morris is trying to hang it on the outside there, but this safety car has completely ruined Morris's race unfortunately. As now just coming into he's coming into the far turn as well. I'll wait for Kieran for Kez's footage then, says Carter. And up the inside! Oh, and Cam is through and passes Morris. This is heartbreaking for the man who is dubbed the Kota Master, and now Lights is through as well. And of course, you are quick. Morris is so quick on this circuit, but with worn tyres, you cannot defend, can you? When the odds are stacked against you. Sadly then. Peace, sandbagging so hard. Hello to you, Pillars. Great to see you in the comic section. Of course, Pillars, a Grand Prix winner in ALR as well. Then, now lack of pens is impressive. Oops, sorry, P said. Yeah, that is Serious Mushroom. That's the reason why we got penalties because Serious Mushroom Immortal now can do a third position. Beautiful. Kian now, through and passes. Oh, and give him a bit of a love kiss as well for good measure. But now it's who's on the outside? That's Cam. Wow, incredible stuff. And he just had the grip on those medium compound tyres. And away they go. Fantastic. Cam is now in 4th position there. No, listen, Cam's in 5th position. Keane in 4th position. Immortal is in 3rd and is now hunting down Kaz, who's got a 3-second buffer to Sam Swift Ninja. Sam Swift Ninja's got a 3-second buffer there. Legends is now, Legends, yes, is fighting, on the, fighting against Young Lights here. Across the line they come. And here we go then. Can Legends, yes, Lights gets through, passes Legends and moves himself up into 7th position. There's all kinds of anarchy. Rabbit in 9th position, 8th position, Equals, and what about Riley? And you can see, this is painful, isn't there? Morris doesn't believe that those medium tyres are going to get to the end. And Knowles, he is on those medium tyres. We've got a couple of drivers on the medium tyres, and Knowles has done 1 lap less than the drivers around him is on the medium tyres. Sam Swift Ninja on a lovely Sunday afternoon drive. Of course, Sam Swift Ninja on course to become a 3-time champion of ALR, which would be the most in ALR history in a single division. That's on the inside. No, on the inside goes Equals. Oh, Menace Banks' rear posterior is not compliant, but he has the traction and he takes 9th position on. Wow. And now, well, goodness me, like a freight train down that back straight. And now look at this, and it's the Alpine having a look on the Aston Martin. And we got more action in the background there. As Legends is doing a good job, to be fair. He is dropping down the order, but he's making a good old fight of things, isn't he? Great stuff indeed then, as just on board now. Oh, good, just on board now then. Of course, yes, Carter Joyce saying to wait for Ket's footage as Equals and Chappers, where is now in the 10th position. Chappers is trying to get back up into the top 10. A very strong race so far for Chappers at this stage of proceedings. Of course, we will wait to see Ket's footage on that then. Oh, goodness me, I guess it was, but sadly though, not ideal. Nosey is off the circuit there, goodness me. Not ideal. Cameron's up in 5th position now. As we got more jostling into turn 1. Equals has got 2 for the price of 1. Because Legends has lost out 3 positions. And look left on his Chappers through. Chappers, oh my gosh, they're going to go side by side. Wow, incredible stuff there from Legends. I would not be too happy if I was Chappers about that. My goodness gracious me. Of course, Legends is fighting for every inch of track, isn't it? Of course, he is on the wrong tyres at the moment there. He's on the hard tyres. It's done 14 laps since the start of this Grand Prix. Oh, gosh. My word, I've got my work cut out tonight, haven't I? I was hoping for quite... Oh, that's a Red Bull off. That's Keza, and Keza is furious, isn't he? Involved in it, yes, Keza is just absolutely furious about this race there. And I think that Keza is going to probably be very fed up, isn't he? And very fed up indeed then. Safety cars that spice things up then. Pease wants his seat back. Pease wants his seat back, says Serious Mushroom. I probably should have sung that, shouldn't I, really? Kian, what's happened? As we got Morris in the back. It's Nosey off again then. It's Nosey's got a puncture, maybe. Now we have got Legends on the inside of Riley. Oh, my word. And Riley there getting a bit harvesting going on at the moment. Of course, Riley normally in silver applying his craft, but tonight there he is fighting with the gold members there. To be honest, I reckon that the theme song for Gold should be actually Gold sung by that guy from the 80s. I can't remember his name now. Was it Shadow Bala or something like that? I don't know. Been a while since I've been here. Mushroom forgot me. I was so it's been so long then. Was just type in evening, sir, and pillars. Evening, sir. Evening, Lord Shroomington. There. Good stuff indeed. And it's great to have great to have some of the old school members here in the comments line. Nice racing there, says ALR Esports. And I have a feeling ALR Esports is probably in the VIP area sipping champagne, isn't he? Yes, of course, they probably, Farford Smith, your YC, are probably concerned about what they're going to get off the wheel, of course, for these mystery Grand Prix, which, of course, we got two more. Well, I got 2 more spins this week, and then we got another spin next week as well. Goodness gracious me! Luckily, so we've got to be on tip-top form. Oh, goodness me! As Pease has got past Riley, and Riley's lost 2 positions there. It's Cooper as in Supers, and also up into 12th position as well. Kean has dropped down into 6th. There's contact between Lights and Kean, and they're both ghosting. Now, goodness gracious me, it feels like a Mario game. And now it's Brabbit is through and up into 6th position now, as Kean and Lights are collided there. Of course, that's where was it Sutil crash there in the Sauber back in 2014. I can't remember who took him out, to be honest, though. For some reason, I got Sutil on the brain tonight. Probably because I seen him in Monaco. Not me personally, though. I seen him on social media, chilling out in Gloucester. Gloucester in Monaco. I am tired. I'm sleep deprived, ladies and gentlemen. Lap 17 out of 28. If I see Sutil in Gloucester, you'll never hear the end of it. I'll be a proper fan. I'll be like, oh my god. I'll be asking for his autograph and everything. Great stuff. Absolute legend, Sutil is. Who are you calling Old Sean? I never would call you Old Mushroom, then, of course, your experience. Knowlesy up into 13th finish now, but it's not been a good race for Knowlesy, sadly. He's had 2 spins there. One of them potentially contact. The other one was, I think, just a driving error, potentially, for Knowlesy. As you can see, then the gap is 5.4 seconds. Sam Swift Ninja is in a different postcode here. My goodness gracious me, I think that he's probably in a different state, isn't he? He is flying out there. Knowlesy getting a 3-second penalty as well. Menace trying to recover, but Menace is trying to keep the championship alive, but it's not going well at the moment. Kean dropping down now past Brabbit, who Brabbit is driving superbly well. Of course, he's lost the Lando Norris helmet, and he's got his traditional one back there. Of course, the former silver champion who's doing. I think this is his best season so far in gold. Yes, I answered it. Oh, Spandu Ballot then. I still can't say it even then. Oh, it's in the VIP lounge. I have absolutely no doubt about that. As Light's got a 3-second penalty, the penalties might start to roll in with just the 10 laps to go in this one. Whoa, Brabbit there, goodness me. He's trying to defend from the ball, and he looks like he's riding the ball as well, coming out of that final turn there. Goodness gracious me, as we go up into turn 1 there. Cam there, what a drive from Cam. He's my drive of the day so far, he's been superb. And I think also he's my driver of the day as well, because potentially he deserved more in Belgium, and he deserved more, especially in Zandvoort. And today he is driving superbly well. Legend's got the fast lap race set. Both RBs are having a nightmare race set. Of course, the safety car really just put pay to what would have been a potentially good race for both of them. Both of them are now 13th and 16th in this field so far. The only question I do have about Cam is that he's on the medium tyres, and whether they can get to the end or not remains to be seen, of course. Mushroom Only's just experienced. Facts, says Serious Mushroom. Absolutely, of course. Mushroom has been around since the days of black and white television. So we go into the hairpin as well for Van Von. Van Von driving superbly well as well. Kean and Brabbit are renewing hostilities out into the hairpin, but Brabbit is through and back up into 5th position. Lights there wants to have a piece of this action. Oh, more contact there. Goodness gracious me. Surprised that the side pod was able to survive that, but I'll say that Lights and Kean there are very much, it's been an absolute battle, hasn't it, between these 2 gentlemen. Wow, incredible something. I don't think Menace and Equals and Chavez really wants to be a part of this one, because I must say it's a bit like Tekken, isn't it, out there between those 2 drivers? Goodness me. I'm just waiting for a finishing moment. The final turn then, Sam Swift then 6.3 seconds up the road. Kaz and Immortal and Cam are driving superbly well. We've got an Aston Martin off, and that's Pease off the circuit. Sadly for Pease then, who it was looking strong for Pease, but unfortunately has had issues later on, and out of the race then Pease his 5th retirement in 6 Grand Prix. On board with Cam now. So the question that I've got is, can the medium tyres runners get to the end then? So that's both Mercedes cars. That is Knowlesy, and that is also Cam as well, who came in the pits under the safety car and put on those medium tyres. Legends, Riley and Morris should be able to get to the end on those medium compound tyres. Should is the operative word then. Spandau Ballet. To be honest, it sounds like I'm in preschool, doesn't it? Sometimes. What can I say? To be honest, I'm a man of many talents. Normally being busy without actually doing anything is one of my specialist talents. and also the reason why I'm doing this commentary, Lark, is not because I can pronounce names, because that's absolutely not the case. Not because my English is fantastic, because it's absolutely not, as you've heard all my drivel for all these years. But it's because I can speak absolute nonsense for about an hour and a half, and so that's the only reason why I'm here, I think. And also because I don't think Knowlesy and his other stewards can find anyone else that does this shtick. The final turn then, who does this shtick week in, week out. On the final turn then, Brabant is now in 5th position, Key in 6th, Menace is 7th. We just seen Lights coming to the pits now. I think they'll make it, but they will be pants there. Of course, we're on about the tires. The drivers that came in for tires on the under the safety car. Well, one driver's already blinked, and that is Lights. Lights is going to be behind Legend who has just put those medium tires on. There he goes. Lights should be out in front of Riley in 13th position in that Ferrari. Then, of course, just watching this incredible battle for. This incredible battle currently for a 5th position then. So as it stands at the moment, so Sam Swift Ninja on a current 25 points then, with Immortal is on where is Immortal? Immortal is on 18 points at the moment there, and Menace Max is currently on 6 points then. So as it stands at this moment in time then, I think that we do have I was just going to keep an eye on this for a bit because I was just trying to work it out whilst the race is going on. As it stands at the moment, the Sam Swift Ninja will be the world champion then of ALR Gold, and that will be he'll be the first driver in ALR history to win 3 championships. He'll be the first driver in ALR history to be a triple world champion, as Morris has got past Riley, as Knowlesy is struggling out there down in 15th position. But carrying on nonetheless. Lights loves a fight. He certainly does, doesn't he? He certainly does. Lights says he does get a bit of his elbows out, doesn't he? Which sometimes is a good thing, isn't it? In the absolute chaos of ALR then. So lap 21 out of 28 then. Of course, history is potentially on the Sam Swift Ninja is on the cusp of history tonight then, and there he is then, Sam Swift Ninja, lap 21. We still got a couple, well, never mind, because we've now got more action at the back of the field, as Lights is now up into 11th position, passes Legends. This is Lights' first Grand Prix of the season, and my goodness me, he's absolutely lit it up, pun intended. Here is Sam Swift Ninja then, on course to be crowned a triple world champion. I'm not going to say anything more than that. We got 7 laps to go for Sam Swift Ninja, but to be crowned a triple world champion, the first man to win 2 championships on 2 different games there was last season, was there, of course, in season 10, was made his debut, won the championship there and then. Then on season 11, on the F1 24 game, he won the championship and was the first driver in history to win a championship on 2 different seasons, as Menace down the inside passes Brabant, and that's pretty impressive on those medium tyres then. And then, of course, and on season 12, still on the 2024 game, is now powering on here in Circuit of the Americas, and is going to repeat what Hamilton did in 2015 and win the 3rd championship on American soil. 7.4 seconds the gap is. Sam Swift Ninja, like this season, has just been a different postcode. One of the most dominated seasons of any champion in ALR. And Cam has got a 3-second penalty. That's going to be costly, I think, for Cam. And of course, that Sam Swift Ninja has driven a superb season as there. In 12 starts, he has had 9 podiums. He has had 5 wins so far. 13 starts, he's going to have 10 podiums and 6 wins. And Lights is at the fastest lap of the race there. Sam Swift Ninja driving superbly well, but we've still got 6 laps to go of anarchy left in this race there. But Sam Swift Ninja is currently in control unless there's a safety car, or unless he makes a mistake. And Sam Swift Ninja hardly makes a mistake then. Why has Nosy got vape smoke coming from his helmet then? I have a feeling then that he might be furious. That might be steam then, as it's been a very difficult race then, hasn't it, for Nosy? But this battle, 2nd, 3rd and 4th, is really heating up then. Cam needs these 2 in front there to potentially get a penalty. And as Van Von then just currently just sitting back at the moment there, doesn't want to overtake just yet. Here comes Menace, and as he is now threading his way through up into fifth position there for Menace Maxen. Sorry, for Menace, and now he is now he's the leader in this Crocodile with Brabant and Kian and Equals and Chappers all for company. And my goodness me, then this is going to get very hot, isn't it, in the final stage of this Grand Prix. Koopas and Soup then in no man's land in the 10th position. Well, actually, he's now got Lights for company. Legends in too far back. Then with Riley in 30th position. Knowles in 14th. Morris is going for fastest up in 15th position there. As it has been a tough old race, hasn't it, there, sadly, for the Kota Master. I do feel that some drivers are probably just sitting there at the moment, isn't they? They do not want to launch an attack just yet. Back on board with Cam, who does have a 3-second penalty, but that at the moment is not going to hurt his position. We do need to keep an eye on Menace, and as Menace is a quick customer. I'm in the 10th position now, goes Lights, and Coop is down to them. But however, Coop does not have any penalties at the moment, so could potentially get some valuable points in his quest to avoid relegation. Then lovely, love this battle here between Menace, between Kian and Brabant, Equals and Chappers. It's been a great battle so far. I've also got another gaggle of cars in front of us, which is Cam Kaz and Immortal for second position there. Sam Swift Ninja look at it very strong indeed. Then Sam Swift is driver of the day. Sam Swift, Kaz, Cam, and Brabant. Then get your votes in now, ladies and gentlemen. So just on board now with Kian, who is now starting to inch closer. He is not inching closer. He is through. He's up into fifth position. As Menace has lost 2 positions there because of the DRS. He's going back at the inside contact between the McLaren and the McLaren and the two Mercedes power cars that are going wheel to wheel, fighting the technical part and the technical twisted part. Oh, so Menace there. Not quite then. Brabant has got no penalties. And at this moment, if they do not fight too heavily, Brabant could potentially elevate himself up into 4th here. But on board with Brabant now, driving superbly well once again. Knowlesy box 4 of 8 says a serious pleasure. I think that Knowlesy might be a very unhappy champion at the end of this race for Knowlesy. I think that Knowlesy is potentially safe to relegation. It's very difficult, unlike football, it's very difficult to really know when you're safe because of course there's so many points on the table still, isn't there, with an amount of Grand Prix wins so far. Welsh Were Rabbit on for 4th then, says serious pressure on board with Cam then. As the court, let's take a look at the penalties. So at the moment, Brabant needs to find about a couple of tenths of a second there to get himself into 4th position, but driving superbly well at the moment. As the gap is now to 9 seconds, and what a dominating display for Sam Swift Ninja. Kick Sauber looking very strong indeed, and this is going to extend their lead in the joint constructors as well, and also extend their lead in the gold constructors standings. Incredible stuff indeed. Goodness me. Brabant is right in the diffuser, Kian in the back there. Goodness me. As you can see, Kaz is just defended there. Here comes Brabant. Look at Brabant flying past. And up into 5th position now. Menace just still in the frame there, Menace is, but as a Brabant there just going off circuit there. Oh, my word. Incredible stuff indeed. And it's been a very long Grand Prix this one, hasn't it? Goodness me. It's at 22.9 now. 22.9 in the Forest Dean time. And push it, Rabbit, push it, said Serious Mushroom. As back in this gaggle of cards here. Lap 25 of this one. And going to speed out. I say the laps are going to feel very slow for a lot of these drivers out there. Going to feel very slow for Mortal, very slow for Sam Swift Ninja as well, very slow for Brabant as they're all defending their positions there, isn't they? Oh, fighting. Ooh, baby, says Cyrus Bush. Then is I'm sure he's got his very much the late 60s classics on in the background there. And Cyrus Bush is enjoying this absolute historical moment today, ALR, isn't it? Of course, this is an absolute monumental day, isn't it, for Sam Swift Ninja? As of course, the gap is now 10 seconds. Sam Swift Ninja is absolutely in incredible form. He really is that. So we've got four more laps in this race, and of course, I'm wondering that as once again these drivers are just remaining static at the moment. I do feel though that this is very similar to that bronze season. So remember in bronze where we had Kiki, Jay Hings, and Brooksy fighting for that, fighting for the championship, and all of them. Oh my goodness me! Contact there as Kean went into the back of the McLaren, but they're all still pointing in the same direction, which is good stuff indeed. Now Legend has blasted past Coop. Coop is struggling on those 15 lap old hard tyres now. Should get to the end, no problem, but unfortunately, it hasn't got the performance compared to the medium shot RB, who's now into 11th there, and potentially could get points as well. My goodness gracious me then, and there are the penalty situations at the moment. Sorry, keep it on the penalties. Sadly for Cam then, Cam would, if he wants to get a podium today, he needs the two in front of him to get a penalty or to have an instant there for Cam to get a podium today. At the moment, he is still in 4th position there with a brilliant drive there. 60s, that says a lot. Absolutely fuming, isn't he? Goodness gracious me. On board now with Cam. By the way, 60s is good. I'm sure that's when the Beach Boys is around, wasn't it? Or they do get around, don't they? Cam then on board once again then with Cam. To be honest, I would have said that he was my driver today. Say absolutely splendid stuff indeed. Then 3 laps to go at the United States Grand Prix. Remember, tomorrow night we have got more Mystery Grand Prix. Actually, we've got a Mystery Grand Prix next week as well. As of course we are spinning the wheel once again. We've only got 4 more rounds to go in this show. Well, 3 more rounds after tonight. Then, of course, another Mystery Grand Prix before we end up in Qatar and Abu Dhabi to finish off the season. Then, of course, only 16 rounds this season. Then, of course, as we are, it's a bit more of a shortened season, and potentially this might be the way forward then, isn't it, for ALR to have a shorter season in the second season. But then again, it also depends on how good the game is as well, I suppose, doesn't it? But even so, though, I think that we'll always be having a shorter season than the season after that. But of course, season 13 next season, then, and I think Sam Swift Ninja, my goodness gracious me, then he has been absolutely incredible, hasn't he? In the last 2 games, F1 2023 champion, F1 2024 champion, F1 2024 second season champion again, potentially with 2 laps to go here for Sam Swift Ninja. Brabant is trying to fend off Kean and Menace. Equals and Chappers there are on course there to actually elevate themselves up a few positions as well with the lack of penalties there. I went Rabbit drivers, they'd be too rude not to. Sam Swift 50% from Brabant as well. Kaz and Cam sadly getting no votes at all. That's absolutely shocking. I'll vote for Cam in a minute though, because I think he's done super well. Am I allowed to vote? I don't know, but oh no, what's happened? What has happened? There's a yellow flag somewhere. I think it's just the car. I think it's just Morris getting out of the way then, unfortunately. So Morris had just got out of the way. As goodness me, that would have been quite a frightening end then to the Grand Prix, wouldn't it? If one of these gaggle of cars that had an issue. But goodness me, because they've drove superbly well, haven't they? On board Chappers, who will elevate himself up into 7th position then, with Menace and Kian dropping down and into. Dropping down into 8th and 9th position, sadly, because of their penalties. Cam at the moment, though, Brabant, my goodness me, look at this. And all of a sudden, these gaggle of cars has actually caught up very quickly to the back of 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. As my word, then, did they make a mistake then? There was a yellow flag then. I'm wondering if they've all just leaned off the power ever so slightly. And that is going to really hurt Cam, because Cam is now going to drop potentially behind Equals and Chappers as well here. My word. So Cam then potentially on course for 4th position could actually drop down into 6th at the end of this one. Lap 28 out of 28 here then. So this is going to get very fine indeed then, isn't it? Sam Swift Ninja is on his final tour as we got overtaken whilst I was about to do my own speech. Equals is through. I think the Menace has lost tyres, is out of tyres, isn't he? Because now here comes Chappers through as well. My word. And Chappers on the outside takes that position, does he? Because they're going side by side. My goodness me. And Chappers has done it. He is through and he's up into 8th position there for Chappers. And that is crucial, of course, because they want to keep onto the back here because they could potentially get past Cam as well. He's also got 3-second penalties there. But unfortunately for Chappers' point of view, I think the menace there is not finished yet, is he? Because he wants to have a run. And of course, Chappers is out of DRS of Equals. Oh my goodness gracious me! That of course that is technically not a battlefield position as such. As Cam has dropped right off the back, hasn't he? Now here comes Van Von. Then he's going for 2nd position. My goodness gracious me! As Kian has got past Brabant as well. Then he's got more overtaken in the background. My goodness me! Here he is. Oh, it's Immortal, and Kaz is through, and he's having a 2nd position. Here is Sam Swift Ninja, and history may concede that he has he's won in 2023 and in 2024, and he's going to win his 3rd World Championship. Sam Swift Ninja is the World Champion of ALR season number 12. He is a triple World Champion here in Circle of the Americas. What a win there for Sam Swift Ninja. He is now officially the most successful driver in ALR history. Sam Swift Ninja has done it there. And my goodness me, I think most of the season it hasn't been in doubt, has it, for Sam Swift Ninja? A triple world champion now with 3 races to go. Sam Swift Ninja won the first driver to win two championships on 2 separate games, and is now the first man ever to win 3 championships in ALR. What an incredible performance. What an incredible season with 6 Grand Prix wins in 13 starts, 10 podiums in 13 starts as well. And my goodness me, no DNS, and he's only finished off the podium a few times as well, and only finished outside the top 10 once in Canada. What an incredible performance from Sam Swift Ninja, a triple world champion, and he punches the air. Fantastic there from Sam Swift Ninja. History has been made here tonight. Sam Swift Ninja is the most successful driver in ALR history. What a monumental moment then, I'm sure it is for Sam Swift Ninja. And there he is. He stands on top of the podium, on top of the world, with 3 races to go now. Sam Swift Ninja just needs to get that constructor's title. Him and Cam just needs to get that constructor's title over the line, and it will be a perfect season for Sam Swift Ninja. He sprays the bubbly. And Cam then getting his 2nd podium in a row as well. A Grand Prix win last week then, and 2nd today. Van Von then has really turned the season around in the last couple of races. Sam Swift Ninja, a triple world champion. Van Von 2nd, Immortal in 3rd today. What a good season for Immortal, nonetheless. Brabant in 4th with Cam, great driving 5th position. 6 is Equals, Kian in 7th with Chappers in 8th, Lights in 9th with Menace in 10th position, Coop 11th, Legends 12th, Riley, Nolsey and Morris 13th, 14th and 15th. Morris gets driver of the day. Pease, retirements was Pease, Keza, Rocket League, Percy and Boxstar all retired from the United States Grand Prix. Oh gosh. Oh, my word, that was absolutely incredible, wasn't it, there? And, wow. Just wow, that's all I can say. Fantastic stuff indeed. Yes, there's Sam Swift Ninja, now a 3-time world champion there. Magnificent stuff indeed. Then this was his 48th Grand Prix start tonight with 22 Grand Prix wins. That is almost a win every 2 races. That is absolutely incredible. I think so anyway. That's absolutely ridiculous, isn't it? His form is incredible stuff indeed. That with 36 podiums as well to his name, and in 48 Grand Prix starts as well. Sam Swift Ninja has only retired from a race once in those 48 Grand Prix. That's absolutely fantastic stuff indeed there for Sam Swift Ninja. Sam Swift Ninja, a 3-time world champion there. Absolutely beautiful stuff indeed. Oh, right, where was I? Yes, as, we got Van Von in the commentary box now, and Van Von, what a drive today to finish second there. And my goodness me, after that win in Italy, now all of a sudden then you've got a second podium in a row. Then you're on absolute fire at the moment. But firstly, could you before we get into this race as well, tell us about the feelings about winning your first race in Italy last week.
Oh yeah, that was incredible. First of all, big congrats to Sam Swift with his world title. It's incredible job he's done the whole season. But no, my first win in ALR, it was something I know I can reach it, but it takes a lot of time, and I crashed a lot of time at positions where I can win the race. So no, it was an incredible job, and yeah, it yeah, it was insane. I don't know, and just bring the same pace to the mystery race, which I don't know which track we're gonna race. But yeah, the pace was there, so yeah, I think quite a solid performance. I think the maximum I take out of the setup, and yeah, I think I thought I would only end it on P5 or something, but yeah, it was quite okay.
Oh, it's more than quite okay. What a drive to second today. At the end of that race, then, was you just parked behind Immortal for a final few laps because you didn't want to get DRS and re-overtaken? Was you just sat there waiting for that final lap?
Yeah, of course. My tires were when going really cold, and yeah, I know I have to wait until the last lap to overtake him because otherwise he will play the same game when he was behind me. So yeah, it was just waiting for 14 laps till the end of the race to overtake him, and it was a bit tricky, but yeah, it was a clean move from both of us, so that was really fine.
And it was getting, and of course, one person that didn't able to make a clean move down there, I think, was Adrian Sutil back in 2014. So fantastic stuff. And it did get very perilous as well into the final sector. You said it was a clean move. Then was you concerned that there might have been contact at the final part of the race, or was you quite comfortable with yourself racing against the mortal?
No, I was quite comfortable, but yeah, you have to keep it in mind that you can avoid, or you can crash into each other. So yeah, I was just taking not that much risk, but enough to overtake him and going on the inside of the left-hander. So he to avoid he can pass me back. So no, it was luckily it was all clean and okay.
We did have a safety car halfway through that race then, and to me that felt like the perfect time to come in the pits and change the tyres. I think you started on the medium, went to the hard tyres. And was there any concern for that safety car potentially getting past the drivers that didn't pit, or did you feel that safety car very much kind of cemented a potential place on the podium?
Yeah, of course. I think the safety car helped me a lot. So I can box. I was supposed to box on lap 13 or something. So yeah, it was okay then when the safety car came out around lap 9 or something. So we can just box but I don't know if I will reach the podium if there was not a safety car. So yeah, a lot of luck, but yeah, it is what it is.
However, having said that, you have been on the podium. You have been on the podium twice now. A next mystery Grand Prix coming up next week. Then, do you think it's going to be another podium, potentially even a win?
Yeah, we will see. The pace is there and a really good feeling, and yeah, we will see what the next race will bring.
Really good stuff. Well done today, Van Von, Kaz Van Von. Absolutely brilliant drive to second position, and very much your best form of your career so far. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Let's come to Sam Swift Ninja. Sam, you're now a triple world champion then, and I must say that was probably one of your more dominating races there. You was about 10, 11 seconds in front of the rest of the field. But before we talk about the race then, a three-time champion, the first ever three-time champion in ALR history then. Are you over the moon about that?
Yeah, it's a good achievement. Obviously, I mean, obviously with people not actually trying as much on the games nowadays, if you manage to get a game that slightly suits your driving style, then I think it's very beneficial. And I mean, with the points front ends of F124, we got very lucky that this game suits my driving style a bit better than others. So I mean, it's pretty good.
I'd say take nothing away from you though, because you're the first man to ever win 2 championships on 2 different games. You won on 2023 and 2024, which, but to me as an amateur, that's 2 different games. And in 48 Grand Prix starts, you've only had 1 DNF, and in this season as well, you've been on the points. You've been in the points in every race apart from Canada, I believe. So it's just been absolutely relentless from yourself, though. So I would take nothing away from that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's been a pretty good season. But yeah, like I said, if people actually probably did a bit of practice or even tried, it could have obviously been much different. But I mean, like it is normally the end of every single season. It goes to the circuits that I prefer, normally quite good at. So if I have an alright start to the season, then I have a decent chance of being up there for a title challenge.
Oh, mentioning that then, you do have, which is your favourite championship then that you've won? Was it this one? Was it your last one, or was it your first one?
Um, Probably the first one because I mean I think I was like 4 or 5 races behind. Well, I missed the first 4 or 5 races because I didn't join at the start of the season, and I mean I had arguably one of my best races out of my entire ALR career, which was the Bahrain race, going from last to first with only one safety car, which actually hindered me because it was the safety car that I got taken out at and was at the back of the grid. But yeah, I'd probably say the first one because I mean on F124, I mean it's been publicly known that not many people like this game, so they've barely gone on it. So obviously F124 was going to be probably a bit easier as a championship to win compared to 23, but yeah, I'd probably say 23 the first one.
And to be honest, it's a bit relentless because you got because we're already thinking about next season. Then, but for me personally, what do you, going into next season? I know that it's going to be on a new game, and you can't really start preparations till the game comes out around May time. But are you thinking that far ahead? Are you thinking if there's any way to start to prepare now, or is it impossible to do?
Well, no, you can't really prepare now when the game's not even out yet. I mean, I'll probably just when the game does come out, if I do get it, when I get it, obviously I'll mess around to see how the game feels and see if it's a drier handling model that'll suit me, and then we'll see what happens from there. Obviously, I wanna just keep on doing these so I can be the best ALR driver in terms of all the stats. So obviously, I'll keep on trying and see what happens.
We're certainly almost there as well. I think you're only about 11, 12 wins away from Emerson, who's got 33 wins, I believe. The rest of the season, we've got 3 more races coming up then. Surely the next thing for you is thinking about the Constructors' Championship, isn't it? But also about having fun. How much does it mean to you to win the Constructors' Championship? Or are you just happy with the drivers?
No, I'd want to win the constructors. I mean, Cam's been extremely unlucky with quite a lot of the races. So I mean, if he wasn't as unlucky as he has been, we could have wrapped the constructors up a lot sooner than we have done this moment in time. But I mean, when the constructors is wrapped up, if we manage to wrap it up before the end of the season, last race, I might just have fun and do a last to first challenge or somewhere, last to wherever, and just have a bit of fun on the last couple of races. If we win the title, that is.
Well done today, Sam. Absolutely brilliant job indeed. Then, I know. Just going to the race as well a bit quick. You were dominating by almost 10, 11 seconds towards the end. And I'm wondering if you was just in was you in that zone, was you, where you was just driving and just so relaxed and it won with the car?
Yeah, I can only do it at this circuit. But I mean, if you've looked at every single season I've raced around Texas, for some reason I'm just extremely good around this circuit. But I mean, at the start of the race, it was pretty difficult because I, honest to God, I couldn't get out of DRS from whoever was P2, and it was so frustrating because they were gaining like 7 tenths down the straight. But I mean, apart of when I got out of DRS, I obviously you could see the pace disparity, and yeah, it was. I was only in cruise control the last few laps. I wanted to eke out as much gap as possible.
And in the last three races of the season as well, then I would say that with the championship wrapped up now, I know you mentioned the constructors, but I have a feeling that you might be able to dominate the final three really because pressure's off now, and you might just be able to enjoy yourself.
Yeah. The last three races, I'll have some fun. I don't know what the final three races are actually, so if there's any ones that I'm actually rubbish at, then um, I probably won't win all of them, but we'll see. I'll just have fun for the last three races.
Congratulations, Sam Swift. You're the first ever driver to win three-time championship in ALR history. Fantastic stuff indeed. Well done, man.
Thanks.
And that's going to be it then for Kota tonight. Then, of course, tomorrow night we've got more mystery races, of course, as Silver then. And Silver is very much up for grabs still, isn't it, really? Because, of course, at this moment in time in Silver, it is a 10-point gap between Flippy, Nameless, and Delando. And Flippy is very similar to Sam Swift Ninja in this first Grand Prix, first World Championship. Flippy has really barnstormed in and has gone right to the top of the championship in fine style. And of course, in bronze as well, we've got a new leader with Dan leading the championship, 14 points in front of Luke. It seems to be a two horse race now. Jinner is just about in there, but he's about 49 points away from Dan. So it's a bit of a stretch now. And Dynamo Dan is also 54 points away as well. So potentially two horse race now. That is silver and bronze and mystery Grand Prix over the next couple of days then. We'll see you tomorrow night then for silver action. Goodbye.